How is everyone doing?
Pretty well. How are you guys? I mean, I haven't been here in a while, so nice to come back, I guess.
Yeah, well, you came back in the right time because we're rebooting again.
Yeah, I'm checking out the Trello board. I gotta catch up a little bit, but I think I see some changes I need to learn about.
Yeah, so right now, and I started writing some key points to talk about, so I stay on track. So I know Nadia and Alexis knows about this, but we decided to change the course because as we're reviewing the AWS Practitioner Essentials course from AWS, it pretty much was, as Sam put it, like a brochure. It doesn't go into great detail of what you're supposed to go over on the test. So we were looking at a couple of courses.
Why do we not have no dinner going?
I don't know.
Come on, you guys.
So hold on, there we go. So with the changes, we were looking at some courses, and I think we found a really good course. The only thing is that it doesn't have a syllabus. So I've been scanning it and trying to find the parts to have break points, because it is 8 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm not expecting you guys to watch that in a week. Let me see if I could share my Trello board. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so I kind of wiped out the board so there's no confusion. And I am, like I said, scanning each one, through the video to get kind of a breakdown where we could stop for each different subject. And then I know there was when we were looking at the course, we were trying to find the module slides, but we couldn't find it, but we found something that someone created for us. So I put that in here. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to follow his steps of how he pretty much created these slides to follow the modules, because as I'm watching the video, he kind of skips module 3, I think, in the video, and he goes from 2 to 4. So I just figured if you guys just follow the modules that I have here and just follow the timestamps that I have, it'll just keep you on track and it won't cause any confusion. That it is 8 hours. I'm still working on it. I have a copy Trello board that I'm creating all that information, so I'm not doing it immediately on the Trello board. So because there's some stuff as I'm scanning through, I miss stuff and then I go back in. So I've been doing that. And then what else do I have? And then what I was going to do is, because these modules are a little bit different than what we were doing. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to see where we're all at and see what we're working on. And if there's any issues that we are coming across, that we could work with each other and figure it out. But again, I still want to be able to talk about this stuff, which is really cool, because as I'm scanning through, there's a lot of hands-on stuff. So if you're like me, you like taking notes and also watching a video and also being hands-on, I think it hits all those things. I'm probably going to start asking the questions where are we at? If there's any issues, see if there's anything that we want to talk more in depth about. so we get a better understanding. And then also, I'm going to do it during the week before we hit Friday, because Fridays is where I want to like start scheduling for the next module so we could get prepped for that. But I want everyone to be honest. If you feel like if you're not comfortable moving forward with that module, to say something so then we could do it, extend the week. Because as I'm seeing like some of these videos, some of the blocks that I have will add up to like an hour or more. And I know, you know, with everything going on in everyone's personal lives, I don't want it to be overwhelming, but, you know, I want to keep it where we have it structured, where we're all still doing something and on track. Do you guys have any questions about that?
So it sounds like you're organizing the modules to be like, is it like roughly a module would be an hour, like each module?
Yeah. So as you see, like I have module 2, I have part 1. So like I'm trying to keep it like a half hour intervals. So like I could assign both of them a week, but if you guys feel like, oh, I got part 1 done, but I didn't get to part 2, that's where I would want like module 3. We have like, I think 3 of them here. So that's where I want you guys to be like, hey, you know, it's a lot of information, it's hands-on, it's slowing me down, but I'm still doing it, but I would like more time. And, you know, I'm okay with that because, you know, obviously I'm doing the same thing. So, and I don't want anybody to feel rushed, but I don't want it to be where, you know, if it's something simple that we're taking a month to do 1 module. Did I answer your question?
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes
Okay.
perfect sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think someone else also started asking a question. Was he?
I think I was just agreeing or just saying it sounds good.
Okay. So it's going to be the same. Like once we're done with this, I'll end up changing this blue and put done, but these are going to be the same modules. And then if we have any resources that we want to add to it, which some of these we already have, you know, like I have the AWS card here, you know, here we'll have like some of the EC2s that we created. We have this here, so I won't be adding to those. And then some of the ones that we already went through, I just moved over here because I thought there was some good blogs there that we could use. So if I need to like move them over, I can. But pretty much, you know, I have the module. I thought I had, oh yeah, I do have it here. I have the course in here, so all you got to do is click on this. And then this is just the breakdown. So this one I just took from that Google sheet, that this thing for the breakdown, because he didn't have any like, I guess, stopper slides to show what particular item he was talking about. So I just took this and put it over here. But then like in these other modules, I'm actually putting the actual like slide that he puts in, and then puts and I put the time. So like if there's something particular that you're working on and then you want to go back, at least you have those times to review. But yeah, right now I think like it's going to probably be like a little bit easier this week. It's just going to be him talking about the practitioner. It's only like 32 minutes. He kind of goes over some of them. I didn't listen to it completely. Like I said, I'm like scanning through just to see like what is in there and if I could pull stuff out. So far, I think this is like one of the better free courses that we came across. So I want to thank Alexis for pointing that out to us. And obviously, you know, Friday we had a really good conversation about it, so that also helped.
No, so The EC2 instances that we did start, just go ahead and stop those for now.
Oh, you should have stopped them immediately. You shouldn't
Oh.
have them running.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I just now stopped it.
Oh, yeah. Cool thing is he actually uses the CLI a lot, you know, as I'm scanning stuff. So it gets you a little bit more comfortable with it. There's, of course, I think it's right here. It's like, so like this is something that you would do on your own time. You're not required to do it, but if you like to, you know, do things repetitively where it is muscle memory, this is also another good video to watch to learn about the CLI. And once I figure out where I put it or I didn't put it, I'll post where it is. But how are you guys feeling about this new course? Just seeing like some of the cards that I've created already.
I think he errs on the side of being like really thorough and verbose, which I think is the better side to go on. There's a couple things that like, here's how to set up on a Mac. I'm like, okay, skip that part. Or, you know, here's the description of each kind of certification. Like, okay, I don't care about that yet. But he's really thorough and he also does the hands-on approach too. So it gives us practice. So I like it as like a replacement.
Good. That's awesome.
And yeah, I've been through the first 32 minutes already.
Oh, yeah. I saw like your interaction on the card and I was like, wow, he's on top of it already. So
I just like took the last little bit at work. I'm like, he's overlapping. No, I'm doing this for work anyway.
That's funny. There is a total of 10 modules. The last module is kind of like a recap of everything. So like I said, I'm slowly doing it, but I think I stepped away and I came back and I got confused where I was at. So I need to go back and see what I just did to add the ones that because like I'm up to like module 4. I actually had like 5 parts of module 3 and then realized some of it could have been broken up a little bit more. I didn't need to break it up as much, and then realized that he was actually skipping modules in his video. That kind of freaked me out because I was like, module 5, wait, I'm on module 3. How did we get there? So I think I got a little confused. So I'm backtracking and just making sure that I didn't miss something. And I mean, if you guys feel comfortable, you know, work ahead, but you know, each week I'm going to be moving one of the cards over. I'm copying it, move it over and put it on top so we know which one is the most recent. And again, like just black out this and write done. And then hopefully, oh, and then those that weren't here on Friday, I don't know if you guys knew that I actually paid for a couple of tests. So I think it's in here. So like if you want to look at the prep exam and stuff like that, it's in here. And then I also created my own little glossary. Which I have here. I think this is it. Which is going to be a working document, so it'll continue to grow. But some of the stuff I was looking at, I was like, man, there's a lot of acronyms. So then I just looked up what are the most common acronyms in AWS, and that's where I got some of these and just started putting it in here. I have where if you guys want to comment on it, you can, but I don't have where you guys could actually add to it. I think you could copy it and add to and make it your own though. And then,
That
you know,
looks awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then, you know I keep changing things up. So I just want to make it where we have the best materials for us to pass the test, because, you know, it's not, I mean, it's not an expensive test, but it's not a cheap test either. So you don't want to go spend $100 and fail the test. So I just want to make sure, you know, with the free resources that we have the right courses.
Yeah, I was actually kind of wondering why the test costs so much. And considering like the GCA is free and these are just like multiples of $100, it seems unnecessary.
Actually, the GCA isn't free. The only reason why it's free for us is because Lambda pays for it.
That's a different course. Because what's really funny is when Alexis said something about the GCA, I thought she was talking about that, what is it, computer science test. And there's a Google Cloud Practitioner or something like that. What is it called, Alexis? I know I'm saying it wrong.
Maybe architect.
I don't know.
But Google has their own. So that one is one that is also a paid, because you got Azure, you got AWS, and I guess the Google one that I can't think of right now.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because Google's actually got several different certificates, I think, that you can get, but you have to pay for them.
Yeah,
And
just learning that none of them are free changes my argument.
it's okay. No,
I just looked it up. I think it's Google Cloud Architect.
oh,
Or-
thanks.
No problem.
Oh, that was Tim. I was like, I know that voice. I just didn't know who it was.
We've chatted a bunch, but I've never heard that voice.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. And then once we pass this, then we could work on, I guess, architects, a solutions architect. But if you guys have any resources that you want to add, just throw it in Slack like we've been. We could go from there. I know that we've like threw a bunch of stuff in on Friday too.
I think this will be a little bit better anyways, because like you said, it kind of puts everything into just one instead of having all the different courses.
Yeah, it is mainly for the cloud practitioner, but he does go over like the actual course you should take if you're looking to move forward. So like, you know, you have the solutions architect, you got the developer, you have, and these are all like the associates, and then you got the specialties, and then I think you got a professional one. He was showing like, if you want to get all these, this is the best solution to do it, to practice and take these tests and then move forward. So, I mean, some people, like my roommate, he only went for the operations. So he like had to cover all that material for just the one test. And he only paid once. So like, you don't have to take each test. I think it looks good if you have those certifications, but even if you,
how much money that all adds up to.
right. But if there is like a specific test that you're wanting, then, you know, hey, you know, go ahead and just review this stuff. And then when it comes to that test that, you know, if we cover it, then you could take the test once we cover that test. Like I'll probably take the practitioner just to get that out of the way, but I don't know if I'll take like the architect solutions. I am looking to do like either developer or operations. So I know like those will also cover the architect solutions. So, I mean, that's where I said, you know, you could make your decision how far you want to go or what tests you want to go take. It's just, I figured this would be a good good way to like for us to all get together, review it, talk about it. If we have any questions, even if like none of us has it, maybe we could come up with a solution together.
It makes for a good starting point.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know if you can skip over the middle exams and certifications and just go straight for the hard one you want to end up at?
I know that you have to take the associates before you go professional. That's the only thing I know. Like, I don't know very much. I just know, like, as my roommate was talking to me, you know, pretty much it's like you take the associate and then if, you know, I think after a year or whatever. I mean, they have like these times like on the actual, where is it?
Alexis was telling us that they don't enforce that timing. She's known people just blaze through the tests.
Right. But I mean, this is what they suggest, and that's right here. But, you know, the one thing is you'll have to actually do the associate before you go to a professional, because I think you have to have that certification. I mean, that's my understanding. If you guys come up with something different, let me know. You know, we could share it in Slack or Trello or whatever, so we have a better understanding. But yeah, like this says, you know, 2 years. I doubt that you have to wait 2 years. And like Alexis said that she got hers done in a week, you know, and this says 6 months. If we follow the course, a module a week, we would get it done in 8 weeks. I know some of the modules might take a little bit longer. So like how I was looking at it is the longest, like the medium longest would be 18 weeks, say like if we ended up doing 2 weeks for each module. But, you know, goal is try to hit each module a week. But like I said, as I'm looking through it, there's a lot of hands-on. And I know like when you do hands-on, it kind of, even though it says it's an hour, I always double that just because you're hands-on, you're stopping the video and pausing it and you're doing what they're doing. And so like an hour could be 2 hours. So that's why I did the blocks of 30 minutes, just in case, like if there is some hands-on stuff that slows you down, that, you know, that 30 minutes could be an hour instead of, you know, an hour into 2 hours.
Now, I don't think, does the 8-hour video have module numbers? I didn't think they did.
The video, like I said, he'll say, oh, we're covering module 4, but it's not in that particular order. I started following the slides, the one that you actually commented in Slack that you were like, oh, this is a great breakdown. So
yeah, I was talking about a specific set of them.
Yeah, this is it. It's like right here.
Yeah, and there's 11 modules, so maybe they restructured it a little bit.
So, you know, this is the one that you commented about, and like if I click, it brings you to this one. It's the same one.
Yeah, I think I meant the cert overview one at the top, or one of them. Maybe it's the recap. No, I don't remember.
But yeah. So
Does
I
anyone
was
know-
actually following these to actually like break it down. And like I have this as the overview, but it's module 1. And then, like I said, the module 10 is the recap.
I spend more times in these meetings than I do actually studying the AWS. So does anyone know where I can see the free, or actually I'm wondering how much space can you use for machine images?
IMA?
I think it's AMI, Amazon Machine Image.
Oh, yeah.
What was the question?
How much space do they give you in the free tier to use for EC2 images?
Let's see what Google says.
Trying to look.
Whenever I talk to people about AWS, they're like, "Oh, what can you do in the free tier?" I'm like, I don't know.
I know like in the free tier itself, I think it goes over AWS free tier. There we go. So this
Sorry, go
is, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, there's a page in like the AWS documentation, like in billing and cost management about hourly usage in AWS free tier. And so it says, let's see, that I guess AMIs that are eligible for free tier are marked inside the Amazon EC2 launch wizard as free tier eligible. So it says the AWS free tier allotment for Linux and Microsoft Windows instances is counted separately. You can run 750 hours of a Linux T3.micro, which I think is a free tier, plus 750 hours of Windows T3.micro instance each month for the first 12 months. But I don't know if that really helps.
That's more information than what I'm finding right here. Do you want to share that link in Slack?
Yeah, sure. I can drop it in the channel now because there's way more on the page probably that I'm missing. But
Yeah, definitely. So I know that this here kind of goes over the free. I think you just got to read a little bit more as well.
And there's about 730 hours in a month.
Yes.
So it's slightly more than full time.
Right. So anything over that, you'll be charged. So that's why, like, because with us practicing, you know, right now we haven't ran anything. So like with Joanne running her EC2, she probably didn't get charged. But say like she starts adding like, you know, the AMIs or, you know, databases and stuff like that, just depending, like you have to look into everything to see what is exactly free. So there's little bits of stuff that you'll have to read more into. Honestly, I don't know all that information. I just know this. And then honestly, like if I get hit with a charge, I'll look it up and be like, okay, why is this? And then, you know, it's one of those trial error type thing to see like what is being charged, because they actually just have limits.
Yeah, they didn't charge me. It said it was like 42% used though on time wise for the EC2, because I started it and then didn't think to stop it. But does that go like from like day one of the month to the end of the month, like it goes on calendar month, or it goes on like a certain day of the month every month? Do you know?
That's charge for EC2 monthly fees. Let's see. Or like is a month. I don't think that's the right. Is a month start.
Like, is it a
Charge.
like a billing
You
month, or
start first of the month. Let's see if that is.
oh, I'm on my IM user right now, so I can't look it up.
You're fine. Hmm. It doesn't specifically say. I think that's something I'll write a note on this to see if like I could find more. I'm just gonna assume it starts the first of the month and then goes to the end of the month. But if I find anything that says otherwise, I'll let you know.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Who's billing? Billing period and date. Yeah, I think it starts with the month. I'm gonna post this. Does anybody else have any questions?
I'm still looking up that AMI question. I'm seeing like metrics on how much hours you can run an EC2 for, and then they also say 5 gigabytes of S3. But what I want to know is like, should I worry about being wasteful about having like 10 images of the Windows operating system just duplicated over and over? Or, you know,
Right.
it would probably crack down on that after some point, but I don't know what that is. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I'll have to, like, I could always ask my roommate if he has any answers on that. I'm not sure because, you know, you're way ahead of me on that.
I'm just
So.
thinking about once we start implementing this, you know, what problems might we run into?
Yeah.
I've also been thinking about a separate question, but if you have people in India testing or, you know, wanting to use your product and you have the database in one place, how do you make a edge location or CDN to share with them so that they can get a faster, you know, latency and still keep the database like consistent?
I thought they did that using caches or something, like a.
I can barely hear you, Nadia.
I was saying, I thought in the course they said something about like using caches to do that. Like, don't they? Yeah, I could be wrong, but it's like I thought for some reason in the AWS Essentials course it said something about like keeping latency low, but like keeping a, I don't say a copy of the database, but like storing that copy like closer to the like end users or something.
Yeah. Actually, I think I remember the same thing. I was imagining they were talking about a database that doesn't change very often, like Netflix or something where there's like just big, large files that that you can distribute like that. But when you have like a bunch of user records or like details of a document that keep changing and changing, you need to, I don't know if it covers that kind of a use case. Maybe it does.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that makes sense. Like if it's something that's not quite as static, like it's changing frequently. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it'll have to keep going back and forth and updating both sides. And I think that's, I guess the question is more database management. And I know there is a way to do this, like Facebook, for instance, has to partition its database out around the world and keep things consistent. And this is a whole thing we learned about in SQL with, you know, consistency, availability. What was the last one? Was it performance?
What is what's it? Compliance.
I'm gonna look that up. It's like the CAP theorem of databases.
I know that they talk about database information on here and they might go into it a little bit more.
Partition tolerance.
Okay. I know
This may
that
be-
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and this may be like way out of scope for this. This is way out of scope for what we're doing right now. So it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like skip over that question.
No, it's fine. I mean, these are good, like write it down. So like when we start getting to those concepts, maybe, you know, the video will explain it a little bit more and we could talk about it. I just know that I keep starting from scratch and then creating more stuff for the Trello board. So I feel like I keep repeating the same stuff and not moving ahead. So
Yeah, and like the beginning of the 8-hour video, it does kind of like repeat some familiar ground already.
yeah.
Hey, this is a work in progress.
Do you guys have any other questions? How are you feeling about this new route? I mean, I know I asked, but I guess I'll ask again.
I think it's a good route. I feel good with it. I also didn't update. Well, I guess I'll let everyone say their piece too.
That's what I'm saying. I feel good about this new course that we're using. I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. If Lex ended up giving it to you, then yeah, it's probably good.
Yeah, we were just trying because I know some libraries have Udemy free, some libraries have Linda slash LinkedIn Learning free. So we were trying to find a course that was very similar to that, just because I'm sure as you're going through the LinkedIn Learning, you see that there's more information that you were getting than on that Practitioner Essentials course that we had. And it was hard to talk about because we really didn't have enough concepts of what it is.
And it's so far it's a little hands-on, but not a lot hands-on. And so you don't have to slow down a ton. Like in the first half hour, the only hands-on part that I haven't done is like downloading your public encryption keys with PuTTY and converting it into a PPK file and that kind of thing.
Right.
Which was in one of the like the EC2 tutorial, but
Yeah,
that
I
part's
have
hands-on.
those here.
Yeah. It may get more hands-on. As far as like, will 8 hours turn into 16? I don't know yet.
As I was scanning through it, there's a lot of hands-on. Like it's really cool because I know like a lot of yous like to have fingers on keys, and I think this one is going to be like the fingers on keys. And then he actually, what I've seen, he kind of goes into a little bit more of like a description of what it does and explains it very clearly. So
Well, for me, it doesn't matter any video. As much as I take notes, yeah, it'll still be more than 8 hours, regardless.
Well, that's why, like I said, you know, a half hour, maybe like an hour, because like I normally take notes. So I don't know how anybody else is, how they do it when they watch a video and follow along. But I definitely know like you'll end up like pausing and stopping and pausing and stopping to get to that. But I do know that he talks slow enough that I feel like he's not going to be like, what did he just say? Because like, I don't know if you guys have had like watching videos where they're talking too fast and you're like trying to type along with what they're doing. You're like, whoa, what happened? What did he say? Or what she say? And then you have
actually, he did do that to me when I was playing him at 1.5 speed. And I'm like, oh, I got to listen to this. Like,
yeah, he is slow. So like, if you feel like he might be too slow, you might want to, like Jimmy said, do the speed. But I think he does it in a good way for people who are trying to follow along and learn.
I think it muted me halfway through what I was saying. I actually tried listening, it sped up and it was too fast for me. I had to slow it down to real time.
Yeah. Cool.
The other thing, I guess it doesn't matter anymore, but my progress in the old curriculum is that I started module 4 in the main AWS course, and I got to about a little over an hour in the Andrew Brown 3 or 4 hour course. And then I'm about 32 minutes into this new one. Okay. But I still need to make a Minecraft server.
Yeah, I know like Rohith actually finished, I think, module 4 the last time I talked to him before. I think that was like 2 weeks ago. Am I right?
Yeah, I think I got through like the first 4 or 5.
Yeah. So I apologize for making you start over, but I think you'll find this one a lot better. And I know like you would message me and you're like, hey, I finished this, but I still don't have like a total understanding. I know that the course is vague, like it doesn't go into details. So I think this course will hopefully help us understand. And then, you know, again, that it is a free course, it will probably still need to use other resources like blogs and, you know, other like articles and documentation. So, you know, I'll continue to do that. And if you guys have anything that you want to add that we could put in there, we could do that as well. But I think like if we have any other documentation I might just create another card, maybe like, well, I think I have the books and documentation. Maybe we'll just start adding it here so I don't keep adding more cards and it gets confusing.
Well, I totally get why you thought that that other course was going to be good. I mean, it was through AWS, so you would think they would teach you everything in there that you would need to know for the exam.
Right.
I still actually want to go through it because I really like how friendly it is and palatable it is. And I feel like I wouldn't be complete if I didn't do that.
You mean you don't like starting something and then like stopping in the middle and then like
I
leaving
tend to
it?
get lockjaw on things I've started. There's a fallacy for that. The sunk cost fallacy.
I get it. I totally understand. Well, I think so far, because this one will be an easy week, I guess we'll just meet up on Wednesday just to see how everyone's feeling about the actual course. Because right now, like this 30 minutes, this module is just the overview of the course. So I guess when we come back on Wednesday, we could talk about how you guys are feeling about it. And then on Friday, you guys should be, because it's just an overview. If you're comfortable moving to module 2 next module 2 next week, and then start on that.
If you're gonna design a course for people following in our wake, I would recommend starting with the spreadsheet or the playlist that had us like create an account and create billing alerts and all of those things, because I haven't seen a place where this new one has you go through making a billing alert and all the options, and because that was really important.
Yeah. There is like this beginner video that was over. This might be the video. Nope. Stop. Yeah, this is one of them that kind of goes over the step-by-step of using the CLI, but I think there's one that's shorter than this, so I'll look for it. But yeah, if you guys haven't done this, I mean, it'll be in part 2, but I think majority of you already did this, but this is just a nice review to go over it. And then if you want to create another one, that's good. And then I'll see if I can find that one video. I don't know what the hell I did with it. I probably put it in the copy one and didn't realize. But yeah, sorry.
Now I'm gonna have to make a new copy.
I'm trying to keep it, keep you on your toes.
I see what you're doing there.
It's keeping me on my toes. I'm actually very excited about this. Like the other one, I was excited, but then as we're going over it, and then when we were talking with Lex, and she would ask questions, and I'm like, man, I don't even know how to answer that. I feel like this will give me a better understanding to maybe interact a little bit more. So I'm just going to ask if anybody has any other questions, because I think I'm going to end it here. And like I said, this week will be light, just watching the overview, seeing if this is something that you guys are comfortable with and how you like in the video. That's what we're just going to do, like a stand up on Wednesday, talking about that. And then Friday, we'll talk about going into module 2. And then next Monday, we'll start talking about the concepts and terminologies that's in module 2.
Sounds good.
And by the module numbers, you're still using the main AWS course as for your module numbers?
This is not from the AWS. This is, like I said, this here are the screenshots that someone created for this course, because if you look in the course description, it talks about that it also provides the 400 slides, but he never really put the link there. So someone created this. So I'm creating the module towards this. And like I said, the video will not match up to these modules because he bounces back and forth. So that's why I said, make sure that you're paying attention to my start and end times on here, because that's why I'm scanning it, to make sure where to go and where to start. And try to keep it about 30 minutes. I think there's one that's 45 minutes because I couldn't get it to end at 30 minutes, but yeah. So I think it's just easier to follow along that way.
Did you record the meeting from Friday? Because I kind of
No,
lost track.
no, and it was like a really good meeting too, and I'm like kicking myself in the butt because at first it started that we were just talking about stuff, and then later on it started getting into more like great ideas and like having good conversation, and by then it was like too late to like hit record because it was like in the middle of a conversation. So I am gonna try to start, before I start talking to you guys, I'm gonna start recording so I don't have that issue. And then like there's some videos that I didn't post just because it's just us talking, like it's not really talking about the concepts of this. So that's the reason why some of those didn't go up.
Oh, okay. I had family that came up, so
Yeah.
I wasn't around at that time.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, well, I'm gonna head off here, and I guess I'll touch base with you guys on Wednesday, see how you guys are feeling about the course, and go from there. You guys have a good night.
You too. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Yep. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.